You just got a new MetaQuest VR headset and you're looking for games to play? So here are the best games according to Meta. The House of Da Vinci. A puzzle-driven adventure where you physically interact with intricate mechanical contraptions, turning knobs, opening hidden compartments, and manipulating objects with your hands. Arizona Sunshine Remake. A classic VR shooter that puts you face to face with hordes of zombies, using realistic weapon handling and full body movement to survive intense firefights. Pixel Dungeon. A retro-inspired dungeon crawler where every run feels different, combining fast-paced combat, procedural levels, and a surprisingly physical sense of scale. Little Thief. A stealth-focused experience where you sneak, grab, and interact with environments using your hands, encouraging creative problem-solving over combat. Escape Simulator. A room-scaled puzzle game that feels like a real-life escape room, letting you pick up, rotate, and inspect objects naturally to solve puzzles either solo or with friends. Undead Citadel. A melee-heavy combat experience where weighty sword swings, shield blocks, and physical strikes make every fight feel intense and exhausting in a good way. Shattered. A narrative-driven exploration game where environmental interaction and atmosphere take center stage, encouraging slow movement and curiosity rather than constant action. And don't forget to watch the Metaverse Anomaly, my new short film. You should go check it out after you're done with this video. I'll link it below. Ghost Town. This one is personally my game of the year. A mystery-focused VR experience built around exploration, environmental storytelling, and uncovering clues by physically examining your surroundings. Batman Arkham Shadow.
The corrupt system has failed you.
Batman Arkham Shadow is a first-person superhero experience that lets you punch, grapple, and glide through environments using physical combat mechanics that make you feel powerful without being overwhelming. I do need to tell you though, it is quite physically intense because you do a lot of punching, so just make sure that you have ample space when playing this game. Hard Bullet. A physics-driven combat sandbox where you experiment freely with weapons, enemies, and slow-motion chaos using your entire body. Prison Boss Prohibition. A hands-on crafting and management game where you physically assemble items, manage resources, and hustle your way through a playful VR economy. Drunkn Bar Fight 2. A ridiculous physics playground where flailing punches, throwable objects, and unpredictable interactions are the entire point. It gets super chaotic. Spatial Ops. A tactical sandbox shooter that gives you freedom to experiment with movement, positioning, and weapons in compact, replayable scenarios. Cooking Clash. A fast-paced cooking game that turns chopping, throwing, and multitasking into chaotic fun, especially when played competitively. I Am Cat. A simulator where you explore environments as a cat, knocking things over, climbing, and causing chaos in very satisfying VR ways. I Am Cat is actually Meta's Game of the Year of 2025. For those who have played it, do you agree or disagree with that? Battlegrounds, a social sandbox shooter that blends casual combat with open-ended maps designed for experimentation and player-driven moments. DigiGods, a god simulator sandbox that lets you manipulate environments, spawn creatures, and experiment with powers just to see what happens. Elements Divided, a spellcasting action game where combat revolves around physically throwing elemental attacks and combining powers with natural hand motions.
But this is not that story.
Skydance's Behemoth, a cinematic action experience centered around a massive scale, weighty movement, and intense one-on-one encounters that make you feel small but powerful. War of Wizards, a competitive magic combat game where you physically cast spells, dodge attacks, and chain abilities in fast-paced wizard duels. Into Black, a dark, atmospheric action game focused on exploration and combat, where tension comes from limited visibility and close-quarters encounters. Vampire Survivors VR, a VR adaptation of the auto-attack chaos formula where positioning, movement, and spatial awareness replace traditional controls. Alien Rogue Incursion, a tense shooter that leans heavily into atmosphere, using sound design, tight corridors, and sudden encounters to keep you constantly on edge. Clone Drone and the Hyperdome, a physics-based arena fighter where precise limb damage and exaggerated motion make every fight feel strategic and silly at the same time. Marvel's Deadpool VR. This is probably the most recent, biggest Quest game that released in 2025. A high-energy action experience that mixes fast combat with exaggerated movement and constant physical interaction, and it goes without saying that you get to play as Deadpool himself. Devil's Roulette, a social party game built around tension and bluffing, where real-time reactions and player presence are the main appeal. The Break-In, a co-op stealth experience where communication, timing, and physical coordination matter more than reflexes. Premier League Player Football, a sports sim that focuses on physical movement and presence, making simple actions like kicking and positioning feel immersive. Demeo and Dungeons & Dragons Battlemarked, a tabletop-style strategy experience where you physically lean over the board, move pieces, and plan with friends in a shared virtual space.
Lightning answers the call.
Into the Radius 2, a slow-burn survival experience where preparation, inventory management, and tension-filled exploration reward patience and immersion. Plastic Battlegrounds, a toy soldier style shooter that keeps combat simple, colorful, and easy to jump into with friends. IRONSTRIKE, a melee-focused multiplayer game where physical stamina and timing matter just as much as skill. VAIL Extraction, a tactical shooter built around tight gun handling, communication, and slower, more deliberate firefights. PokerStars Vegas Infinite, a social casino experience where the real draw is hanging out, reading body language, and chatting while you play. Golf Plus, a realistic yet approachable golf sim that uses natural swings and social spaces to make long sessions surprisingly relaxing. And don't forget to watch the Metaverse Anomaly, my new short film, like right now. Go.
Who the hell are you? All these are your creations?